something like this with the words. First of all, respect. I acknowledge the fact that the words came from Eminem. That's respect. You guys, it's a part of that song Legacy, so he's the one who came up with it. Whenever I say these people's names, it's because I don't want them, if they were to hear it, to say like, hey, he's taken my stuff, without acknowledging the fact that I'm the one who created it. I'm the originator. You know what I mean? So yeah. Here's the words. I don't know if he says these are out in public, but he's talking about school or something. Out in public, I was just shy and awkward and shit, but when I was home, I was non-compliant. With all the type of things that I just said, fear of losing employment because of misconceptions, presumptions of what autism is. There's they can revert back. Okay, so the guy, he was talking about that I said he was eyeballing me, but I knew he wasn't going to do anything because he didn't feel, it was because he didn't feel comfortable. Well, that happens nearly every day, you know what I mean? But it's just that because I'm different, but at the same time as I know that I'm not going to do anything, so all I have to do is be myself, and then they'll either do nothing or they will relax because they'll realise I'm not up to anything. Just I'm different, that's all. And this example I was using was when I went to go see the All Blacks up in Auckland last year. And then he came back and he was like, yay, like this and that, and like, oh yeah, like, how you would talk to a child. But he didn't go to the game, but he came for other reasons, I think. But he was like talking to me like I was a child. He's like, oh, that would have been fun for you, eh? So he had good intentions, but he was like, oh, that would have been fun for you, or that type of thing. Like he was a much more relaxed because the All Blacks had won. And it's like, well, if the All Blacks were to lose, I still would have had a good time. And there's a whole bunch of other things because they think that we get set off at the smallest things. Well, because there's also high masking autism, and the thing that's with high maskers is, see, looking back, I actually had a couple of crushes at church of autistic chicks, because there's those who, because autistic people, it can be there's these pros and cons. Like, you got a lot more energy if you're not masking, or if your masking is a lot less. See, I still had that thinking time before I done this, but I still went and done all this, right? So my masking is a lot less. And, I do everything within my being to be my true authentic self when I'm uptown and when I'm visiting people and all this type of thing. But if I know that something makes someone uncomfortable, then I just won't do it around them. Because we have stimming, right? Sometimes when I'm thinking about things, I'll be leaning forward like this and my face will be like this. And there's other things that just naturally are me, and that's just me being deep in thought, not being angry towards anyone, or maybe I'm just annoyed at the situation, but I'm trying to circumnavigate my feelings to figure out who I'm annoyed at, why am I annoyed at them, have they said or done something that has triggered something in me that has caused me to react that way, because I didn't realise that I had a traumatized thing, about something that may have been done to someone, by someone, right? So you got to think these things through, as well as listening, as well as just think these things through, because you don't want to make irrational decisions, and And there's these other things, that just naturally, like, sometimes I go like this. Now, that used to be a lot worse. That's because there was a whole bunch of answers and frustration and a whole bunch of things in regards to I didn't even know what ADHD was until last year. So I had a whole entire life of living with ADHD up until I was 35 without even knowing anything about it. Because I thought that every ADHD kid was running around clotheslining all the kids in the school, but it can't be the person who is expert and hyper focused, and it is literally impossible to get them distracted when you're talking to them about their 3 or 4 favorite subjects. But then when you get them in the other 3 or 4 subjects, all of a sudden it is literally impossible for them. They're rocking back and forth like this, looking out the window, and they're not doing it on purpose. It's just literally like it's not. We're not being lazy. We're not doing anything like that. We're not being disruptive. It's just we literally cannot stay focused. And sometimes I've fallen asleep in class, or how do I put it? Like I was playing rugby on the rugby field, and the next thing you know, I was scoring tries for the first 15, or I was having a first 15 player tryouts, and then all of a sudden, bang! I'm in the classroom with my uniform on, my school uniform on, sitting at the desk, and the teacher's going, and this. Scientific. Okay, so I was good at maths, and I was good at learning languages, and I was good at performing arts, but I wasn't good at science. So I'll give science as an example. The This scientific equation, blah blah blah, and I'll be like, I'll look at my mates, and I'll be like, say you're my mate, I'll be like, did I tackle you, or did I bunch you over, or did I offend you, or what have I been doing? And then I'll be like, you've been just sitting here. And I thought, but I've been playing rugby for the first 15, or it was first 15 tryouts. Neighbours out there, so I'm being respectful of them. I have been. Like, then I'll ask a couple of other people, and then they'll be like, no, you've been here. And then the teacher will be like, is everything okay, Daniel? And I'll be like, well, they're like, maybe like you might be frustrated or might be just concerned. Is everything okay, Daniel? And I'll be like, yeah. Sometimes I'll say, yeah. But sometimes I'll say, yeah, but I thought that I was playing rugby, but it turns out I'm in class. The teacher's like, you've been sitting in class for the past half hour or hour. Yeah, anyways, I was going to get straight to it because some things I missed, but that's in regard to like the whole music thing and Forrest playing. Oh yes, that's right. Because Forrest in the book is described, I'm 6'3", and Forrest is described as 6'4", 6'5", and he's a bit bigger than I am, or like I don't know, but he was what do they call him? Like the defensive or the offensive, but and he played college level, and he ended up playing a couple of seasons in the NFL, but yeah, he's about the same size as me, but 2 or 3 inches taller. I'm 6 foot. I was 6'3" in my 20s, so I might be 6'2", 6'3" now, and he was like 6'4", but 6'5" in his prime. So, but the thing is the whole. I don't think my family looks down upon me, but that's the effect of all of these. These 80 people that ignore you. Then there's the 10 or 15 people that give you a hard time, and autistic people being in survival mode, so they're not really looking out for each other, but then they get past that and they get to a bit older, and then they start looking after each other. They don't go around making life harder for each other, but they're just focused on their thing because they're in survival mode, and then they start helping each other to get older, or like mid-20s and stuff. But yeah, that's the whole thing. That's where the comparison game comes from, is from what everyone said, but actually I'm actually satisfied with what I have, but I would like more so I can give my family a good life.